Hello everyone and welcome back to the 1 hour a day Tibia project. Our character's really beginning to come along. We're slowly ticking off little goals every single day, and this week we're going to begin working on further access. So stay tuned to find out what that's about. Starting out this week we are level 162, 95 club fighting and 88 shielding. We also have 17 KK cash stored away in the bank, ready for future upgrades. So, as always, let's lock in. 1 hour a day, let's get it. Day 127, starting out the week with our amazing weekly tasks. So, we managed to get gang members, crocodiles, pirate skeletons, ghouls and centipedes. Most of these tasks we'll be able to complete nice and easy, however one of them is going to need a bit of additional work. However, we will address that when we get to it. First, we headed to Port Hope to get the crocodile task quickly completed. This is a very simple lap with plenty of monsters for us to get the task sorted. So, we completed this and moved on to the next. We then went to Yalaha to complete the gang member task. We completed this by using both the foreign quarter and trade quarter back and forth to make sure this task was completed as quickly as possible. Then we headed over to the cave in Liberty Bay to get through the Centipede weekly task. Once again, this is a nice easy task to get through as there's plenty of these monsters here and a nice easy lap to follow to get this completed out of the way. We then headed to the Tar Pit tomb to make our way through the ghoul task. This is a nice easy task as well, as there's plenty of ghouls in the tomb here to complete. Once again, a nice easy lap to follow and get this task completed out of the way for the week. Finally, we need to address the final weekly task that we have, which is pirate skeletons. Currently we only have access to Mariana, so we're now going to need to complete a few more missions to open up our access to Nargo to get this task out of the way. So that's what we did for the rest of the session. Day 128. We started out the session by taking our demon baby to the Emperor in Khazad-dûm as our daily task, and then we headed back to the desert to hand this little sucker back in. We were then awarded with Impwood the baby, who will now stay in our home in Khazad-dûm to sit and watch guard. Once we finished up the access to Nargo, we were able to begin working on the pirate skeleton task that we have. This task is alright to do, it's not the quickest, but we managed to get another set of tasks done and completed out of the way for the week. And we also opened up further access down the line. We may also come back and finish this quest line to open up more outfit options for the character. Then, for the rest of the session, we headed back to Carlin Cults to work on this cult enforcer task that we've had for a while. Hopefully we're able to make a good dent into this before the end of the session. We weren't at the hunting spot for too long, but we did manage to make a small dent in this bounty task, and every little bit of progress is good to help keep the character heading in the right direction. We also managed to keep that profit number in the green, which is perfect for here. Day 129. We're gonna go all in on the Sea Serpents task this day to get the boss task completed and begin chipping away at the last Sea Serpent task potentially. It only took us roughly 5 to 10 minutes to finish up the last of the Sea Serpents we needed before I had to head to Port Hope to get the boss task from Grizzly Adams. So we headed back to the northern Sea Serpent spawn to kill the Leviathan boss again. We had very similar loot as the previous time we killed this, and another Sea Serpent trophy to add to the house, but no rare loots unfortunately. We then spent the rest of the session working through the next Sea Serpent task that we've taken. This task should then hopefully push us over the amount of kills that we need to complete both of the charms for each of the Sea Serpents. We managed to just kill over 200 more Sea Serpents and make a big dent of progress towards our next Leviathan kill. Day 130. We started out finally by working on the Pirat's Tale quest. This is a really good access quest for us to begin working on at this point in the character's development, as this will enable us to open up a few different spawns. So we started out by heading to Liberty Bay to work on our first pirate raid to gain some access points. This is probably the worst task we could have had, and that's to kill spy rats, which don't provide any loot and use up plenty of supplies. But we managed to clear this raid before we moved on. So we headed back to a spot that we're beginning to call home, Carlin Cults. We're hopefully going to be able to complete the rest of our Cult Enforcer bounty task that we have. We managed to make the rest of this bounty task just in time for the end of the session. But due to completing the Pirat raid at the start of the session, we have a heavy loss in the balance from today. So hopefully we can cover this up over the next few days we have left this week. Day 131. So we started out this day by heading to West Ormond Hydra Cave. We've decided to go here as we have a Bog Raider bounty task, and I feel like we've outgrown the spawn a little bit in Yalaha, so I decided to test out our strength here. And it also means we're able to pick up a Hydra task from Grizzly Adams, which is great to keep us helping up with the progress of killing bosses and getting task points for promotions. We managed to get through the majority of the Bog Raider bounty task as we killed 175 in the hunt and also 144 Hydras. This is the first time I've hunted this spawn ever, so I'm slowly getting used to it and what a good lap might be for future hunts here. We'll have to pick this up quickly during the next day. Day 132. We started this day up where we left off in Ormond West Hydra spawn. It didn't take us too long to complete the rest of our Bog Raider task. We only needed to do half a lap of the first floor before this was crossed off and completed. Then we began working on the Pirat tail access again following this. The next raid was in Darashia, and this raid we had to make cannonballs by using a pick on the rock nearby, adding them to the catapults and then lighting them with the flintstone we were given. This does not take us too long to complete before we're able to move on. We then rolled a Yeelathax bounty task, which was great as this is a spawn we tried to visit before but it wasn't available. So it's nice to see that we're actually able to get this spot this time, and I also want to complete this charm at some point too, so it'd be quite quick to do on this character. This task only took us 12 minutes to complete, so it was really quick and some more bounty tasks in the bag to continue upgrading our talisman. We also made a small bit of profit here, which is really nice. We then rolled a Roaring Lion bounty, so this is a bit of a throwback hunting spot that we'll be returning to get some more bounty points to keep the upgrades coming in. We managed to complete just under half of the task during the end of this session, whilst also making a decent profit across all of the tasks today. So we'll have to come back and finish this task off tomorrow. Day 133. We ran back to the lion rock spawn to work through and complete the rest of this roaring lion task. Just a heads up that during this hunt my keyboard and mouse crashed and I died slowly whilst I just had to sit back and watch my character die. So we'll need to make up for this going forward. So we then went and completed the rest of this roaring lion bounty task whilst also keeping our balance in the green, which is great. Just a quick clip here of the Walk of Shame to go back and pick up some new blessings. We then rolled a Pirate Marauder task, so we headed to Yalaha and began working on this. This is a nice and easy task to get some more bounty points and really chilled out after I felt down about the death I just had. So in the background you can see us completing another Pirat raid to boost our access points, and this is where I'll be ending the progress this week. So to recap, we're ending on level 167, 96 club fighting and 88 shielding, and with 17.4 KK cash in the balance. So thanks again for your continued support. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like and subscribe for more progress videos. And as always, take care now.